Shakti Shiva Tarot for another reading. I am going to call upon the light and ask for the Divine Creator to guide this reading. Allow me to be an open channel for those that need it the most. So we've got Descendant, Invitation, Pluto Rebirth, and Retrograde Review. 15, 27, and 37. So we are in a retrograde right now. Mercury just went direct from a retrograde. Pluto, I believe, is in retrograde right now. I will confirm it in my little comments that I do. Pluto, I believe, is in retrograde. Saturn is about to go into retrograde. And Saturn definitely Saturn is a planet of karma, so definitely likes to bring in structure and create discipline. Saturn is the planet of discipline. It likes to, where there is disorder and chaos, Saturn likes to bring order, and it's chaos. I'm sorry, it's karma, right? So the Descendant, I feel like this is an invitation from your beloved. Ooh. Something maybe during the retrograde in Pluto. You know, and Pluto is all about rebirths and transformation. Ooh, the venom. Poison, toxic. Let's keep going. Something might have come up during this Mercury retrograde or during this Pluto retrograde, or might come up during this Saturn retrograde that needs to be looked at. That has been toxic. Something that was toxic maybe returning in, or something that is toxic that needs to be removed. And for some of you, why do I feel like this has to do with wound clearing and potentially your sacral chakra? That sexual energy, that divine, the consumption of your divine sexual energy. Ooh, for some of you, you guys are dealing with toxicity, toxic vampires, energetic vampires that are stealing from your creative energy. They are taking from your creative energy through this sexual energy. Let's just be real. There is a spiritual warfare out there. And if they can't get to you through, let's say you're on the journey and you're trying to eat good, you're trying to do good, you've given up like your vices, right? Like, let's say you're not drinking, you're not doing drugs, you're not eating junk food, they can't get to you in that way, right? You're exercising, you're working, you're doing this, but how can they get to you? And this is what I feel like for especially a lot of spiritual, divine, feminine energy. When we are on this journey of self-discovery, I know for me, I went into super, super hermit mode. You go into this hermit mode and it's like, there's nobody touching me in my hermit mode. I was celibate for 3 years and there was nobody touching me on that journey. I was hermiting in my room. I wasn't spending time with people. I didn't want to socialize because I really just wanted to be in my own energy. And so how was in the spiritual warfare, how is the dark side going to get to me? How are they going to get to me? Yeah, through sexual energy, right? By sending in these suitors, these good-looking men, because I like men, to tempt me. And tempt me out of my shell, tempt me out of my spirituality, tempt me out of my celibacy. And so I feel like for some of you out there, male or female, doesn't matter, you might be dealing with the same thing. That sexual energy that is tempting you and stealing from your creative energy. The fault line, yeah, there's a crack in that, okay? So if this has been happening, if you have been in a toxic situation, maybe I feel like you need to do some cord cutting from your sacral chakra. Definitely get into that sacral chakra. You eat orange foods, and vegetables, wear orange, do exercises like yogic exercises and meditations for your sacral chakra. I do have a yoga page you can go and explore. I don't really have a whole lot on chakras up there, but like it's a plethora of things. And you know what, maybe I'll do some chakra meditations. But definitely, if you do need help with like a love flush or a cord cutting, I can help with that. Reiki, remote, you don't have to be local. I can do it without you even being on a phone call with me. Okay. So, anyways, there's a crack in that system. Something's cracking. Okay. I feel like for those of you who need to get cord cutting, you will, and this will change you need to protect your gem. Protect this gem. The pilgrimage tells me that you need to go on an inner journey of self-discovery, pilgrimage of, there's a crack in the line. I feel like you've come to the realization that something in your life is toxic, and it's more than likely in connection to somebody who is stealing your creative energy, poisoning your womb. Energetic womb, cord cutting, very, very heavy here. There's a rainbow baby that wants to come too for some of you. But as long as you are in this more toxic womb energy, I feel like this is not going to come through. Okay, for some of you. For others, the gem is about finding your own internal light, right? Like this is exploring your colors, creating new colors. There's a full spectrum of colors that maybe you haven't even explored within yourself. And I feel like that's what the pilgrimage is asking you to do. Explore these different colors within yourself. Go on a journey. Review your life. Review your descendant, which is connected to your... I feel like it's definitely an invitation from the past. I don't know why I feel like you are being asked to transform. Look at that. Pluto, rebirth, Scorpio, transform. This is the same energy. Something is transforming in your life. And maybe it is this more sexual energy that it's just, maybe this is an energy that it's not specific to one person, but it's just been something that maybe has been cycling in your ancestry for quite some time. But so with you in this lifetime, you've experienced it in many different people, not just with one person right now. It's something that maybe you've cycled and repeated, and you're like, why do I keep drawing these really toxic sexual energies, these relationships that, it's just very sexually based. And I feel like there's something connected to your ancestry, to your ancestral lineage. Libra is asking to bring balance to this. There needs to be some kind of like review of self and this energy. And I feel like this is heavily, where is your sexual energy going? How are you using your sexual energy? Are you using it to create and to build, or are you using it to manipulate, to, I feel like for some, you've been dealing with, people who manipulate you for your sexual energies. Like I said, there's something there. Grand Cross Provoker, 12th house, escape, Pisces, Grand Cross Provoker. This invitation might provoke you because it might be connected to this very toxic, poisonous sexual energy. Like I said, somebody is... I just heard thirsty for the D or for the P, right? Thirsty for that sexual energy, and the invitation might be provoking because of that. But there's a crack, there's a rebirth, there's a transformation. So let's say that you have been, I want to say, let's go here. I'm hearing trapped by this energy, but let's just say it's just an energy where you need to recognize, and because obviously if you have creative energy and like you need to release this creative energy, obviously there's going to be moments where you're going to want, to be in this sexual energy, to express that energy. Well, let's say you don't have a healthy partnership, a healthy companion to do that with, then you might be drawing in suitors who are exploiting this sexual energy, okay? So we got the God and the child magical in reverse. It says despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. I don't know if I said that right, but pessimism, depression, and disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Interesting. Like I said, with this God, why do I feel like someone, or you're dealing with somebody who uses their sexual energy? Or maybe you have to ask yourself if you are this person too, and be really, really honest with yourself. If you are using your sexual energy to manipulate and to control other people. And literally it says right here, using power to control people. Sexual energy is power. If you're using, you really have to sit with yourself the next time you're in that energy and ask yourself, is this energy coming from a want to manipulate this creative energy, or is it coming from my heart center, from this desire to share my heart with this person? Yeah. And then it says, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. So for some of you, you're like expecting others to take action, the action required for growth. You're feeling depressed, you're feeling pessimistic, you're feeling disbelief in miracles, and so you're just kind of sitting around doing nothing, expecting somebody else to do something for you. And so let's say you are the one in this. I can understand why you would be in this energy if you are the one being taken from by this venom energy, by this person who is acting like a god and using their sexual power to control you. If you are in a position that this person is manipulating and using their sexual energy to exploit you, like I said, in the spiritual warfare, this is happening. Why? Because we carry light codes, especially the divine feminine. We carry light codes. And the dark side, this is a spiritual warfare. If they can't get to you, like I said, by lowering your frequency through food, through negative thoughts, through your environment, they're going to send somebody who you are very sexually and physically attracted to trap you in this sexual energy, to exploit your creative energy and harvest that energy for themselves. And this is that power that they take. So then your creative power is taken by them. You're feeling depressed, you're feeling pessimistic, you're feeling low on energy, and their life is getting better, right? Pay attention to that. Okay, and then we have companion and victim, and they both came out in the upright. So it says loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness, and prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. And so this is potentially the lesson that you learn, right? This is potentially the reason why this is coming up, because it's like, why am I being, why is this happening to me? It is happening to you so that you can take your power back, so that you can step into your power, so that you can step into your light, into your loyalty. Like I said, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Your unselfishness in dealing with not victimizing other people, because you've been through the trauma, because you've been victimized. When you realize this and you learn from it, then you become that person that doesn't want to victimize other people. So then you are in turn, you are one, not allowing yourself to ever be victimized again, but then you're also being that for other people and helping other people in situations that they might be being victimized. So this is this is the transformation. This is the power that you are retrieving. But for some of you, you are definitely still battling with this, and you need to watch the energy that you allow in. This is about creating balance. This is the boundary. This person is stepping into your life with this toxic energy to help you create this boundary, to help you bring your power back. Claim your power. Stop giving it away. It's easy to escape, right? And to allow, that sexual energy is really easy to escape into, you know? It can be tantalizing, yeah? And I feel like this is the lesson for you, you know, that self-control, that power to have that self-control. Because when you're out there just leaking your energy sexually, out there, your energy is just leaking. Like I said, that creative energy, what are you doing with it? You are leaking it out to all these external partners. And then in turn, what you want to create for yourself, let's say the family, the home, the legacy, it's not happening. Why? Because you're out there leaking the energy to everyone else. There is something that wants to grow within you, whether it be actual life or a project or a legacy. And as long as you continue to leak your energy through these people who are just coming in to exploit you and steal your light codes. Yeah, look at that. Someone's watching you. There's been a pause on this connection, but you best believe they aren't. It's not like they're not watching. They're watching. There's a pause. There's a need for you to step back and wait for a sign. Maybe this person is watching, waiting for a sign. Fascination, curiosity, watching from a distance. I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. And for those, I feel like this is that person that comes in with that venom energy, with the sexual energy wanting to exploit, right? The God and the shadow energy, the God and the shadow energy, using power to control people. When you're in that energy and you're leaking it everywhere, of course you're not going to know who you are anymore, because you've literally left your power in every single situation that you exhausted that energy in. You're like leaving little bits of your soul. So let's say you have multiple partners. There goes that bit of soul, that bit of soul, that bit of soul, that bit of soul. So then at one point, all of your little pieces of souls are spread. You need to retrieve these pieces of your soul back to you in order to feel like yourself again. This is the work, and this is the job. And if you are the divine counterpart that is meant to stand in her power and her boundaries, or his power or his boundaries, and their power and their boundaries, but you're not, and you just allow this person to come in and you fall into that sexual energy and you stay on that cycling, you're not learning, they're not learning, you're doing a disservice to both of you. Now, if you have the higher awareness that this is your situation and that you have the power to create that boundary, and that it doesn't mean that this person is going to leave for good. What it means is that this person is going to be faced with themselves, and they're going to awaken to the true depths of this bond, and it is going to cause them to choose. Do I stay in this toxic energy? Do I evolve? You can't make that choice for them. I couldn't handle your words when you were upset with me. It was too painful. And so for maybe some of you, you brought this up to them and they didn't like hearing it. You called them out. You held them accountable. They didn't like it. And of course, when you are asking someone in their shadow to step into their light, it's going to irritate them. So for some of you, and those of you who have been in separation, no contact, you guys are having dreams. You are connecting telepathically in the 5D. Maybe you're having nightmares. Maybe your person's having nightmares, right? Nightmares about this betrayal, right? Let's say if you haven't actually, I gotta close it out. Soulmate, companion is coming, compatibility, companionship. Your best life partner is coming, but